Hello everyone and welcome to Data Glitch where we talk data. In this video, I'm going to explain the difference between the full load and the incremental load. If you are building a data pipeline, this one is the most important decision you will ever make because it directly impacts the performance, the cost, and the scalability. So you obviously heard about full load if you are starting as a data engineer or you already in the data engineering field. So what is a full load? Full load is just your script that you've written in, and you just like you take your data from the source and you bring it in a target table, like taking everything from the source and insert it in a target table. So before inserting it, you just need to like to truncate first, like delete everything from that source target table, and put everything from source. So it is basically the truncate and load, right? So imagine this like your pipeline runs every day, like in the night, and it moves 10 millions of rows, but just to update only 5 rows in a target table. So basically, it's good, right? So when you have like 10 millions of rows, this is kind of like a waste of time. You're moving 10 millions of rows, it's a lot, it's huge. And it's also waste of resource because if you are using the cloud or maybe the EC2 instance, you can you are just increasing the bill. So let's quickly see how the truncated load really works. Like you have the source table that have maybe this one. I'm taking an example that the source table has only 5 rows, and this is the source table, and this is the target table. So when you do the full load, it's gonna like delete this target table, like remove everything from this one, and after and set like updated this target table with the new new rows, like with the new things data coming from the source. So it's basically taking from this one the source table and put it here, and but before insert it, just truncate this. So this is truncate and load. That is basically a full load, right? So let's introduce the incremental load. What is the incremental load? Incremental load it is very simple, like taking data from the source, going to the target table, but only take the record that has changed from yesterday. I mean, only the record that has changed. So we can like gonna do the comparison here. So before inserting, like before implementing the incremental load, you have to like have a column date in your source table and also in the target table because you also need to do some check. Sometimes you can also check on the ID, but this is not the most efficient one. So you just need to have a column date in the source table and a target table. So let's basically try to see here. You can see that this is my source table, right? The source table, I can see that I have the updated column here. And in my target table, I have the created. So this is basically when the record get updated, we can see this get updated with the latest record here. So for this example, you can see that the Bob and Diana, it is the new record coming from the source with the now the amount which is 500 and this one is 1000. The status get switched to finish compare to to the target table. The target table still hold all the records and the status which is still pending here. And we also can see that we have on some in the green here, we have the new records coming, the Frank and the Grace, it is here, the status active and the submitted. So how the incremental run will do, it's kind of like basically gonna take the new record. This new record, it is not there. Those new record gonna be inserted in a target table. And those previous record, I mean those old record updated one gonna get just updated here, like remove everything and put with the new one. So we have two way of doing it. Some people may need to keep the historical record. If you want to keep the historical record, you just need also to keep this one but add this one in the top of it. So that's basically the incremental load. So let's quickly see after the run. Before this how it looks like after the incremental run. So it is how it looks. So in my case, I like keeping the historical records in a table, so you can see that the Bob now this is the new record here with the yellow one with the completed status. If this is the O record, those run in red one is the O record. So this is basically how the incremental loads happen and how it is run. So it is basically the update the new records, update the record that has been changed, and insert the new record. So this is how it is, and it's very very good. So let's quickly see the comparison between the full record, the full load, and the incremental load in terms of like how it works. It is basically, if you are using SQL, it is just the truncate and insert all, and the incremental load is just the insert and update only the record that has changed, right? So this is kind of like a very good thing. So in terms of rows move, this one will move all the rows every run, like every day it will only move. If you have 100 millions of rows, it will just try to move everything. And the incremental load will just move only the new record and the update rows. So in terms of speed, this incremental load is very, very, very good. This one is slow, but at large scale, this one get slow, faster incremental load. And in terms of complexity, implementing the code, the full load is very very simple. If you have written your script, just run it and that's it. No need to put any syntax complex code. Yeah, but implementing the incremental load is can be tricky. Can be tricky sometimes, depend on how your logic is, and if you are maybe working with the logic that require also some heavy calculation. So that's going to be very very tricky, but it is possible and very very simple to implement it. Okay, so in terms of cloud cores, this one it is high because it will taking time running, and this one is low. I remember when I was working on a table like incremental load, I was able to change the table that run like 2 hours and bring it to run just in 1 or 2 minutes. That is very very great thing. So incremental load is really really saved my life though. Okay, in simple decision, if you are have to choose between the full load and incremental load, that would depend. But I will always go for the incremental load, even if my table is very small. It sounds crazy, but incremental load is very very good and the best. So if your table is less than 1 million, you can just go with the full load. And if your table, you know that the table is scaling very fast, so just better implement the incremental load while your table is still small. So that is a good thing. Okay, thank you. If you liked the video, just give a thumbs up.